Happy 4th of July, everyone, and welcome back to the Basin City Freedom Rodeo pre-show. I'm your host, Clay Noel, and I'm going to be bringing you all of the action both in and out of the arena, along with the rest of the media team, your announcer, Al Parsons, and the rodeo clown, Cookie, aka Zach Cook. So we've got quite the lineup of contestants tonight, but before we get into it, I want to kind of give you a little bit of background knowledge on the Basin City Freedom Rodeo and what has changed this year within the PRCA sanctions of this rodeo. So within the PRCA, there's a sub-series called the NFR Playoff Series, and this year the Basin City Freedom Rodeo has joined that sub-series. So what does that mean? At the end of the regular season, kind of the last couple weeks of it, there is a big rodeo. Last year it was back in the Dakotas, the Governor's Cup, where contestants compete, and the way that they qualify is based off of the points that they accumulated at NFR Playoff Series sanctioned rodeos throughout the year. And there's quite a few of them going on this week within Cowboy Christmas. So some of them are like the Greeley Stampede that just got over last night, the St. Paul Rodeo that gets over on the 6th, the Oakley Independence Day Rodeo in Oakley, Utah, Red Lodge, Montana, Livingston, Montana, and Belle Fourche, again back in the Dakotas. So there's a lot of contestants that are coming to compete to accumulate points to qualify for the Governor's Cup again at the end of this year. And again, before we get into all of the action that you guys are about to see here in a bit, I want to take you back, just re-jog your memories for those of you that were here, and maybe tell you, for those of you that weren't here, who the leaders are after last night. So there were no bareback riders last night out, so it is a wide open game for the contestants that are out tonight. In the steer wrestling, however, Stetson Jorgensen came out and made a run of 7.4 seconds. So if someone can come out and either be really fast or even make a businessman's run and place maybe 5-6 seconds, then they're going to take the lead. In the team roping, there was a little snafu at the end of the team roping last night, so we ended up running the team of Jake Smith and Douglas Rich again after the bull riding, and they came out and took the lead with a time of 4.4 seconds. Then in the saddle bronc riding, it was Tyrell Roberts versus Bridwell Pro Rodeo's Big Diesel. He really had kind of a hard time getting in time with that horse. You'd see him there for a couple jumps and then maybe get out of time, but he really pushed through to make it work for a score of 79.5 points. Now in the breakaway roping, we had a lot of calves last night that were just really runners. So it was McKenna Bright, who probably 2/3, 3/4 of the way down the arena roped her calf in a time of 4.1 seconds. And then in the tie down roping, now remember, a lot of these contestants, their bodies are really taking a toll at the end of this week, and we're getting towards the end, so they're tired, they want to go home. Some of them have been on the road for, weeks before Cowboy Christmas even started, and it's just wearing down on them. So they're really going to have to start pushing through, and this is where you see some of the gritty ones come out to shine. So last night we saw Trevor Hale, who halfway down his rope stumbled, but still roped his calf in a time of 10.6 seconds. So we haven't broken into the single digits yet, so it'll be interesting to see what we can make happen tonight in the tie down roping. Now in the barrel racing last night in my interview, Taryn Lee was talking about how she's kind of been having a hard time. Rodeo can really be a tough mental sport, and she's been just having one of those dry patches that some people have, and that is very common. It's not if, it's when it happens within the rodeo community and industry. So Taryn Lee came out and really had a run that helped boost her confidence. She said she ran a time of 17.08 seconds, which put her in the lead by 0.16 seconds. So they say about every 3 feet around a barrel, or every 3 extra feet that you have to cover, is about 1/10 of a second. So that kind of shows you exactly what the difference was between the first place time and the second place time. In the bull riding, it was such a fun interview. It was Eli Nekashea with a score of 86 points on Corey and Lang's Peace Out. That was his first ever PRCA interview that he's ever gotten to do. I've seen him be second, third, fourth, so definitely up there in the top, but has just never broken in and gotten to have an interview in the winner's circle. So why don't you take a look at Eli Nekashea's first ever PRCA interview. I've got Eli Nekashea, and he was on Peace Out, and he made sure he definitely did not peace out on that bull. 86 points. Eli, that bull turned away from your hand for a few jumps and then went back into your hand. How did you manage the moves that he threw at you?
Honestly, personally, I like them around the left more than into my hand, so whatever they do after around the left, it don't matter. I'll get them rode.
Man, that was such a great ride that Eli made. That bull really turned away from his hand and then turned back into his hand, and you just kind of see right there that, as he said, he likes bulls that can do that, that turn away from his hand. So congratulations to everyone that is leading. Some of them still kind of have to hold on, but some of them have a pretty decent lead, like Eli and Taryn. So we have a lot more to come here from the Basin City Freedom Rodeo pre-show, so don't go away. We are going to be right back. Welcome back. I have our announcer Al Parsons here with me, and we had quite an interesting performance last night, and I think it's just going to keep getting better tonight. What do you think, Al?
I do believe so. I mean, last night was really, like you called it, interesting, and it very much was. Tonight, we've got them stacked up like cordwood for the next two performances, really. It's going to be amazing.
Mm-hmm. And just to give you a little bit of prelude, a little bit of background knowledge, we're going to go over some contestants to watch tonight. They are scheduled to compete here, but sometimes in true rodeoing fashion and traveling fashion, sometimes your truck breaks down, sometimes your horse, like in the barrels or the timed events, just needs an extra day break. Sometimes you get injured along the way, and sometimes you just don't want to go get on that horse. So just because we talk about them tonight doesn't necessarily mean that they will be here due to injury or other personal reasons. So
correct. And you got to remember, it's the 4th of July, it's Cowboy Christmas, and we're trying to get to about 20 rodeos over 14 days.
Yep. And I think there's actually 40 going on across the entire United States. So there's a lot of miles that are about to be traveled, but let's get things kicked off in the bareback riding.
Okay, well, my pick for tonight, we're going to go all the way back to the cowboy that won the American for $1 million. Richmond champion comes out of Stephenville, Montana right now. He used to come out of Texas, but he's currently sitting number 24 in the world standings. He's been to the NFR several times, and I think it's about 8 times right now. He's already got $1.7 million won, but the thing I like the most about this matchup is the bucking horse he's got, 750 of Tim Bridwell's. This horse has been a money horse for a long time. They've been 84 points at San Bernardino, 85 at Livermore, and 85.5 at Red Bluff.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to pick one of the rookies for tonight, and he's from Oregon, Mason Stiller. He this horse that he's on, they tied to win it last year, Buckaroo from Corey and Lang. He placed in the top 5 at the CNFR recently. He's second in the rookie standings, and he's got an average score of 84 points. So if he goes out and just does that, that'll put him in the lead right now.
Absolutely. So as we go down a little bit more and get into one of our timed events, the steer wrestling really has been coming along here, especially today. This performance is going to be great. I'm picking Stephen Culling out of Fort St. John, British Columbia. He's number 9 in the world right now with $50,000. But this cowboy, he's just come off a lot of wins here recently. He's jacked up, ready to go. The 4th of July is his kind of time because he loves to travel. He loves to draw. Good or bad, he's going to make a run at him.
Mm-hmm. I've got kind of a local, we're going to call him local-ish, from Hermiston, Oregon. He is leading the world right now in the steer wrestling, Dalton Massey. He is fresh off his win at Reno, so I think he's kind of on a roll right now. He's got an average time of 6.7 seconds, and he's got a run percentage of 83. So he's very consistent, as we saw leading into the NFR last year, and he's just continued that streak this year.
He's been fast, that's for sure. Team roping as well. Team roping has been fast all across the country right now. There's so many great team ropers out there, but again, I'm going to go to Canada because I have this little thing inside me that says that this team right here that missed the NFR last year by $900 is going to come back and have a great Cowboy Christmas, and that would be Dawson Graham and his brother Dylan. Those two, last year when we did Edmonton, they were right there on the bubble. They needed to win that one in order to go. It did not happen, but they've got 4 Canadian finals qualifications, a championship there, and I believe this is their kind of weekend.
Mm-hmm. I've got Pedro Egarola. and Corey Petska, which I think is an interesting team right now. Corey's not even ranked in the top 50 on the healing side in the PRCA, but Pedro is 26th in the world, so he's starting to get up to that bubble. He's never qualified for the NFR, and he's got an average run time of 4.8 seconds, whereas Corey's on the healing side is 6.71 seconds. So I think I'm just intrigued by this team, and I'm excited to see how they do tonight.
I think you're right. I think it's going to be great. You never know what's going to happen. Like in the bronc riding, I'm not taking probably the #1 cowboy in the world in the saddle bronc riding, but I am taking a cowboy that has won quite a bit of money, and recently he continues to stack it up, 5,000 at a time, something like that, is Leon Fountain. Out of New Mexico, this cowboy, he just sneaks up behind the herd and he grabs them, and that's what I love about the setting that we're in tonight because of this particular horse he's got as well. Blue Backsplash of Tim Bridwell's. Now this horse right here, the Cowboys love him because they've been 85, 86, 87, 88 and a half. They continue to just grow up the ladder, and he's the kind of cowboy that can be that 85, 86, 87.
I'm going to stick with the rookies. I've got Zach Dallas. He is leading the rookie race right now in the saddle bronc riding. He was another one that did well at the college finals a couple weeks ago. He placed again in the top 5, and he's got Pearl Necklace also from Bridwell Pro Rodeo. And again, he is sitting 16th in the world, so he's definitely been making his mark this year in his rookie year and climbing that ladder. Because sometimes, you know, you just see the rookies that do well in the rookie race but aren't able to necessarily make that step up into the overall world standings, and Zach's definitely been doing that. So this horse can kind of be a little bit of an eliminator, and I think this matchup's going to be really interesting to watch.
You're right there too. That's a great horse. The breakaway roping has always been good. No matter where you go now, it just continues to get faster and faster. My pick for today is Cheyenne McCartney, Oklahoma Cowgirl, number 16 in the world standings. But the cool thing about her is she's been 2 times already this year, 1.9 seconds. I mean, she has gone beyond a miracle there. She's done it in Texas, she's done it again in Missouri, but she's a 3-time Wrangler National Finals qualifier. I think that she is about to really break open up inside that top 15.
The Beaujolais name is like everyone kind of knows that name now in the breakaway roping between Shelby and Michaela. So I'm going to go with Michaela tonight. She's not up there in the world standings right now. According to the WPRA, she's 76th. But we know that she can really come and play with the big kids. She has an average time of 5.9 seconds, and then a catch rate of 68%, which you know isn't necessarily not low, but it's not necessarily high either. So I think that's going to be a fun one to watch tonight in the breakaway roping.
It will be, and the cattle have been outstanding here too, so that'll be a lot of fun to catch up on. Cattle being outstanding in the tie-down roping, they have been fast in the tie-down roping. I'm going to pick Huntsville, Texas, John Douch. Right now, currently, he comes in number 4 in the world standings. No disgrace there at all to be underneath the top 1. This cowboy, when you've got a world Hall of Famer in your backyard and in your corner, things are going to happen. What I like about this 3-time Wrangler National Finals contender is that if he has the kind of season we think he should have between now the end of December, come January, he's going to be $1 million cowboy.
I think he might just be, but I've got another one that's no stranger to the NFR, Shane Hanchey. He's sitting 14th in the world right now. His average run time is 8.6 seconds. So if he comes out and again does just that, then he's going to take the lead here because they're leading it currently with 10.6 by Trevor Hale. So there's still a lot of room of things that could happen in the tie-down roping, which leaves it makes it an exciting roping game to watch.
It does.
So.
You always think you're going to be in single digits already, but you know it's been a tough one. The calves are tough. Barrel racing, the most beautiful event out here again tonight. I got to go with one that's just paved the way for a lot of other young ladies coming along. Stevie Hillman out of Weatherford, Texas. This cowgirl, I mean, she's been to the National Finals Rodeo. She knows the big scene. She knows the big stage. She can run in any arena USA. And I like her chances. She's got 3 different horses that she could choose from to come and run in this arena. No matter what she chooses, she's got a chance at winning this event.
I'm going to go with the lady that is leading the circuit right now, Megan McLeod Sprague. She has won over $12,000 in just 6 rodeos alone in our circuit, which is, I mean, no easy feat by any means. And she's also 13th in the WPRA World Standings. So I think as long as she goes out and makes a run that we've seen her make before, she's going to do well here tonight.
I think you're right. And in the bull riding, to finish things off, I am going to go this time with a young gun, a rookie, a cowboy that last year at the circuit finals, he was 90.5 on a great buck and bull from Mike Corey again. And he's only 20 years old. So he's got a lot of growing up to do, but it's Cole Hill from Klamath Falls, Oregon. In the circuit right now, he's number 8. He is on that list for the Rookie of the Year, but he's going to have some pretty good events in order to catch the top cowboys that are running. But right now, after winning that go around in Redmond at the circuit finals, he went on over to Yakima and he won that event as well. So things are going well in his life. But the bull he's got tonight is Spin Cycle of Corey and Lang, and so far it's got 100% buck off rate.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to be quite a matchup. If he can get this job done tonight, it's going to change his life.
Yeah, I think it will. That'll be such a fun one to watch.
Yeah.
But I've got a veteran in the bull riding, both in the PRCA and in the PBR, Mr. Derek Kababa. He's got 2 Hell I Go from Corey and Lang. He's sitting 3rd in the circuit standings. Hasn't really rodeoed a lot. Because he broke his neck early on in the year, or maybe it was the end of last year, and so he's still recovering from that. So I think he's building his way back up now, and he's got a ride average of 83.5 points. So I think it'll be a fun matchup to watch tonight in the bull riding. So
I think it's going to be a great event all the way across. Things have been going well here. The weather is fantastic, and I'll tell you what, just what a great group of contestants we have for the next 2 performances.
Sometimes it can get really hot here. It was definitely warm yesterday, but it cooled off in the evening. So I'm hoping it'll do the same again tonight, so I'm not sweating through this red, white, and blue. But we are 1 song away from kicking off performance 2, so stay tuned.